of the members, after being given an opportunity together with his witnesses to be heard before the council, sitting as a court of impeachment. And the council has the right to make ordinances regulating the manner of impeachments and removals. If you sprung it on me tonight, I would suggest if you have 2/3 approval to move forward with an impeachment hearing, that be the motion for tonight, and at subsequent time you bring the charges, you give the mayor the opportunity to defend it. And I would further recommend the council to get a special counsel to prosecute those charges, because I have to work both with you and with the mayor, and I think I have an untenable conflict of interest here to be the prosecutor of the mayor or any one of you to remove things abroad. So that, if you feel time is of the essence, or you could defer this as for a vote, you can work any of this out among yourselves, but if you feel you want to move forward with such a vote tonight, I think it would be appropriate to be a vote to bring forward impeachment charges for a hearing and so on at a subsequent meeting, and not to mayor a motion to remove it tonight.
That's the motion that I...
That's the motion you were intending, sir?
Yeah.
Good. I got it.
Okay, any other discussion?
So I will second Sam's motion that's on the floor, on the advice of our city attorney. And with that motion,
This is a very interesting development. I would like to read a statement at this time as part of a discussion for this motion. Before I do that, I'd like to pass it out.
I think you should go ahead and vote on the motion.
The floor is still open for discussion.
Just one.
Okay, just one.
Okay.
One on the floor.
Okay, thank you. Anybody want one here? I think. Johnny, do your work. From what I've heard so far, it's the mayor's been accused of irreconcilable differences. My statement is, Holden has witnessed the bullying of a council candidate, attempts to stack the council with friendly faces to the Board of Public Works and the contractor in the previous election, monthly harassment of the mayor at council meetings, Second Street meetings by power brokers in the community, and yes, a letter to the editor with signatures solicited by the water and sewer contractor that bear false witness, and a letter inserted into the Board of Public Works minutes from the mayor of Kingsville so it could be reported timely in the image this week to coincide with the current discussion. This culminates an ongoing strategy to remove me and control city government and eliminate openness and transparency. Keep an open and objective mind on the current situation being manipulated by some on the council and associates of this well-orchestrated scheme. Your mayor is under attack because he stands for openness, fairness, and transparency in government. It appears this is not the goal of some who feel my presence hampers their agenda. Fact, my first term as mayor will end in April of 2018. The water and sewer contract will be up for review January 2018. The current efforts to bully and blackmail me to step aside correlates with these dates. We have a council member who month after month harps on strict adherence to ordinances. A past member of the Board of Public Works for over 10 years. By doing this, harping on the ordinances, he has brought into question an ordinance that all city contracts over 5,000 will be bid. This raises concern for some as to whether the contract for water and sewer must be bid as per ordinance. Consequently, I am being portrayed as the villain. I will sit in the mayor's chair in January of 2018, and the council will decide whether to enforce that ordinance. To remove me and stack the council, as has occurred and is currently underway, I believe is a way to circumvent the following of the ordinance. Now that we have a council member wanting strict adherence to ordinance, the question is, will he demand strict adherence to this ordinance? I have been bullied, badgered, harassed at council meetings for over 18 months, as I stated earlier, in an effort to delegitimize my position as mayor. For some, to ask me to resign is like asking the fox to guard the chicken house. As the elected mayor, I have the responsibility to act in the citizens' best interest, and I will continue to do so. I have stated publicly and in print, I favor the agreement being negotiated between Kingsville and Holden regarding wastewater. But I want open, transparent, and accountable negotiations. It's the citizens' utility. The mayor and the council deserve a say in its future, as do the citizens. This is a public utility, not a private utility. It is sad that this issue is being used in an attempt to force me out when I favor it and support it. To use it politically is an insult to our neighbor to the west, and to tarnish what could be a good arrangement for both Kingsville and Holden is unfortunate. Mayors change, BPW members change, council members change, but contracts and ordinances remain in force until changed by mutual agreement. A contract with Kingsville would remain in force no matter who sits in this chair, who is on the council, or who the contractor is. I will not abandon my standards of open, fair, and transparent discussion of Holden's best interest. I would hope that the citizens of Holden recognize this attempt by some to exert influence and control over your city government. As mayor, my current agenda is to finish improvements at the city lake, update ordinances, and provide affordable housing in Holden for veterans and others. And I look forward to finishing my term. Thank you for your indulgence in that, but I feel very strongly that this statement speaks from my heart to the citizens of Holden.
Mr. Mayor, may I speak?
Yes, you may.
Having been a member of situations where an impeachment was being considered, this is wonderful material, but it did not belong as part of the Holden Council. It is part of your hearing documents that you would be allowed to present at the hearing following a vote. Thank you.
Well, I think I'm on trial tonight, so I'm just getting a head start on the evidence.
I believe you do think that.
I have something to say too.
I recognize it.
It makes me sick that my friends and neighbors act like this. You're all a bunch of children that can't grow up and play nice. I don't care who you are. My wife usually spends $3,000 or more at one business in Holden at Christmas time. We don't do that anymore because we're treated like stepchildren. The Chamber of Commerce people don't speak anymore because I'm on the city council and they don't like the mayor. That's the kind of people that are doing this, and that's the kind of people that I have to look at every day and pity, because you don't know what you're doing. You're just following the lead of a few people, and it makes me sick.
I call for the question.
You have that motion written down.
Yes.
Would you read it back to us, please?
A motion to have a hearing to bring charges against Mayor Edwards for impeachment was made by Sam Draper.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I seconded it.
Okay,
Roll call.
roll call, please.
Who's the hearing, who does the hearing for the impeachment? Is the council the one that has to make all the decisions? Or does the public have to vote too? They kind of-
It's a vote of the council.
And Mr. Mayor, you have the opportunity to expand on this. He will have the opportunity to expand.
I think it speaks for itself. I'm on record. Okay, roll call.
Parkin.
Yes.
Now, yes for the
To have the hearing.
Zumwalt,
No.
Rader,
Yes.
McDaniel,
Yes.
Christensen, Abstain. Mitko,
Yes,
Thomas? Yes. Pardon? Thomas? Yes. Weeks?
Yes.
We have 6 yes and 2 no.
One no,
One.
abstain.
One abstain.
Such a hearing date.
We can, but if we have to seek special counsel, we'll have to confer with them to get a date. At this time, would it be appropriate for the mayor to remove himself and Mayor Pro Tem to fill a seat?
No, this is just a motion to have a hearing. You haven't removed the mayor. Unless he wishes to step aside.
And I do not.
I'll consult. We need to have some communication and we'll talk. I mean, I guess in theory, I could conduct this hearing and present evidence from the side, if both sides consent to that. And one side feels that that's awkward and inappropriate, this kind of feel this, then we should get some counsel. That'll be the council's call.
Approval of, no, back up. Item A on the agenda is discussion of ordinance relating to change of square foot requirements for home construction.
When the mayor brought to my attention that there might be a presentation tonight, as we heard from veterans with respect to possible needs for 600 square feet smaller homes as gold. I reviewed your existing code, chapter 42, both in R1 residential and R2 residential districts. The square footage for single family is 900 square feet. To change those requires a procedure that both goes through the prior and amended on your code, chapter 42, and that will need to go both through the planning commission, to answer the gentleman that asked earlier about public hearing. It would be an amendment to change those square footages for the whole So that zoning code is one way to do it. Lower it from 900 to 600 for all homes, single-family homes, if that's what you think is wise or would be
Can it be
proposed.
specified?
Say case by case basis, specified.
Well, I was gonna say an option to that, I had hoped, why I asked about would be all in one area, I was thinking about suggesting a planned district. Just to be unique to that plan, but if these are gonna be potentially all over, well, let me suggest that as an approach. If you could find a condensed area, a number of these to be in one area, we could make that the R1P that had these special lower square footages, but it wouldn't apply to all the rest of the R1 districts where people might be concerned about the smaller homes being permitted in theirs that weren't for veterans. So that's an approach I suggested as a possibility to the mayor. Otherwise, doing this lock stock would be for all homes. It would be on a case-by-case basis, unless we made it a planned district that they came through on a one-by-one basis and had a bird that way. I did suggest that maybe we should get out and get people who either zoning expertise, who either currently does our zoning, or people who do planned districts. I talked briefly with the zoning person at the city of Raymore, Mr. Cataret. We got a copy of their model for a planned district, and it has many features that can be unique for a plan, so that the type of housing and amenities and so on that's then included in the planned district they require to have a special thing to have smaller, because you've probably seen some things like in the Longview subdivision, up in some of their homes that are very close together and don't have the same smaller square footage and smaller sizes, but in one given area, and that's a planned zoning district. Sir?
If anybody has an interest in seeing it, they're building, like Randy said, a village at 89th and Troost in Kansas City. And you can go up and see what the houses look like and how they're doing it. I intend to do that very soon and talk to them about possible sources of funding, etc.
Might be wise to task a smaller group, or your planning commission or someone to look into this one issue and come back with possible recommendations. I like giving options, but I don't like making policy for you. I think that's your councilman's and your planning commission's job.
Well, I do not like the idea of dropping 9 to 600 for the whole thing, because they're gonna get into a situation where you're gonna try to put in one, and you're gonna have the neighbors around it totally disbelieve what's going on. And we gotta look on both sides of this, and when we wanna do the right thing, we also gotta look out for the people that are still living there.
What would they rather have? A rundown, torn down, rat-infested house next door? Or something that's nice and clean and attractive?
We
And it may be smaller, but it's better than what they had.
Now, we just did 2 demolitions, 2 house demolitions, there's 2 empty lots sitting over there. You know, the city doesn't own them, but we have a lien against them, correct? That would be a good area to start. I'm not saying, I don't mind one having to be beside me, but I'm not saying that Angie wouldn't have one beside her. Not throwing them in both.
And as an example, if those are 2 lots like that, you could do a city rezoning, either outlots or the owner's got to consent, or else the city initiates a rezoning, and we try to make that a planned district that could have these special sizes as a start of an experiment. Because I agree with you, I get concerns about making the entire R1 zoning code drop to 600 feet. That would be very unique
Because something else.
state and area.
You know, someone else could come in there, our code says this.
They are a veteran, they're
Exactly.
in a small house.
We got a family of 5 living in a small house, and they're totally legal. So we're kind of walking into a good dangerous area.
Yeah, that's not really our intent.
I wouldn't want to make it.
That wouldn't like
No.
Exactly.
I would like to make it feel specific and
But like we said, we're just in the talking stage.
Yes.
And there'll be a lot of things that has to be ironed out before we can
Even need to make the ordinance.
proceed. And it'd have to be an ironclad ordinance that would cover all aspects. Somehow, and I don't know who'd write it up, but you know, the concept is being tried in other places and it's working. And we'd have to take it. But like I say, we're just at the talking stage.
Because another good idea for the tiny home, like, going off on the veteran site, but I'm over a couple would love to have a little tiny home on a piece of property and do nothing. There you go, same.
No
But-
yard and blood.
Yeah.
One 10-foot square yard.
So we gotta look for the veteran side, then we gotta look on the public side on the other.
Probably landlords would like a 600.
Well, that's why I wanted,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted the city invited tonight. Was because we could get some feedback from citizens.
Any feedback from public?
Sir?
Why can't you write an ordinance subject to that, and with an exception, like an exception to a veteran's home, something like that, that you have to meet certain requirements to do 600 square feet. You know, rather a regular person like myself, wanted to build a home, I couldn't build one, but a veteran, or some veterans group can build one, with exceptions of it. Or amendments of it.
That makes sense.
Certainly something to consider.
Like you said, would you like to have an empty lot with a granny old house on it, or a small house with a veteran's in it, and they can build for 600 square feet, but somebody next to them, you get everybody's feedback around where you're gonna build it. See what they feel, because it's gonna improve their property value. They have a newer, type of building.
When we,
And that's
earlier in the meeting, I heard somebody say, well, there's a place where there's a bunch of trailers that are gonna be torn down. I don't know if that means on my street, because there's one being torn down, but it's already, they had the ordinance changed so they can put a new one right in its place. So I don't know if somebody has the idea that they know of some land that we could put a whole bunch of them together.
You were talking about the trailer park over by where Eric lives. Because it was full of trailers, now it's basically empty. That would be a good idea for a village per se, but I don't know. It's
Yes,
not
it
for
would.
sale or anything, but.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys, the thing everybody's gonna need to understand, we're gonna have a lot of patience with these guys. They're traumatized, they're not fitting into society, and what we wanna do is try and aid their transition into getting back to normal lives. They've sacrificed enough already.
And we're not talking about the elderly veterans per se, we're talking about, the Iraq and Afghanistan and people that are now in these Middle East areas. It's that age group that these homes will be for. These guys are coming back in their 20s and 30s and they're just having all kinds of fun.
Living on the street.
Living on the street.
Doesn't planning and zoning have a process for variances to the code?
Yeah.
And like you said, we're in the early stages and we're talking about this, but we don't have a fundamental foundation or underpinning of an organization who's going to kind of underwrite this project and make sure after the first veteran's in there, that they've got another veteran going in there, or this becomes another abandoned house and home.
That's part of what I overlooked, was that if we could build them in that trailer park, that would be very beneficial, because they don't trust anybody that's not a vet.
Sure. Yeah.
You gotta be a vet to talk to. Phil?
If you watch on cable, they've got a thing called Tiny House Nation. And they've had several big towns that they finally consented to having tiny houses in them. And every one of the councils in those towns have said that's probably the best thing they've ever done. Because they've got empty lots that their town was going downhill. And they've made accommodations because those empty lots are having these tiny houses are not just little shacks. Some of these are better than my house will ever be. If my landlord, I'm sorry. But, however, some of these are very nice. They landscape them, and some of these people are not building houses anymore. And these houses are gorgeous.
Well, there's a new fad, for lack of a better word, going on right now. It's called minimalism.
Get rid of everything and shrink down as much as you can.
And there's a lot of people going for it.
These towns, they show on TV, they had one whole episode, basically how these towns have opened up because the towns were having so many problems on trying to keep people there, that it's been one of their best decisions, so it's just a thought.
Maybe the council or the zoning commission could research what, what towns those are and see how they, see how they started it and also how they did their ordinances.
I've seen that.
On my
program,
list of
and
things to do.
I've seen that program, and they're not disadvantaged people, it's going
No,
down.
no, these are just,
And some of them, they're just a few hundred feet, and they've got 4 or 5 kids, so I go nuts. 600, I can't imagine that.
yeah.
Yeah, but should be restricted just to
They
the
said there's a lot of liquor stores in
or
the
should be only both sides of this tier.
yeah, but it's, what Phil's talking about, they're not disadvantaged, I'm sure some of them are, but then we're looking at other.
This one town started as veterans, and they found out that it was beneficial. And so it's just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
I got a lot now I can't build on because it's too small.
Yeah.
But there's no empty lots around me, so I have a vacant lot that I have to mow. I can't do anything with it but mow it.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It would be an ideal place for a tiny home and an elderly couple to live there. My mother-in-law.
Probably a minority, but some of these veterans that are out on the street or in their car are in fact single parents of 1 or 2 children. Probably a minority of them, but there are some out there.
I think what we're looking at is there won't be a lot of kids.
No, I don't think so either.
These are guys that are traumatized,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to enter society.
Guys and gals.
Yeah.
So it would seem to me a case-by-case variant to get started would be, rather than a wholesale rezone, change the code in R1 and R2.
Well, I think contacting the Chamber of Commerce or the city administration of the city that has successfully gone into this small homes idea and find out, what problems they ran into, how did it work, what did they do, where did their funding come from, and things like that. I think it would be beneficial to us to do that kind of research.
But it was mentioned, I think, that whether it would be able to be just designated for homeless veterans, it might be that.
Yeah. And I think
that
we need,
way, and maybe it'd work if it was designated for homeless veterans and anyone else that was.
yeah.
The non-veterans part, you need to keep them together. I mean, one of the moves that we need to make is we need to come in contact with that trailer park, make contact with them, see what it will take to start. Find out what it'll take to get over there, make contact with Eric.
Well, once the streets are drivable again, I'm going up to the city to see what, and I'll take lots of pictures.
Like I say, if somebody has some names of some of these towns where it's been a successful program, let's find out from them. We can learn from what they've had to go through. They're probably starting out very much like we are. So, what were their successes? What were their shortcomings?
But I think we need to start with a case-by-case basis
Yeah.
at this point,
At this point, yeah.
before we actually start changing the rules.
I agree.
We need to find out what's involved before we even,
Yeah.
what we're funding and everything before we think about ordinances. So you're right. Got a lot of research to do.
A lot of research. I'll make a motion, we move forward on the idea. Do some research. As a starting point, that's my motion.
Do we need a motion or just a consensus? I think we're all
Probably
in favor.
consensus would be okay at this time. I withdraw my motion.
We need to know what kind of motion to make on that.
Right, let's just go with a consensus and move forward.
All right, I withdraw my motion.
It'll be on the agenda for next month.
In the meantime, try to find out what you can.
But this needs to be not just council support, we need support, the city needs to support
Everybody you
it.
talk to.
Chambers, Main Street, everybody needs to
You know,
get
veterans organizations, it's gonna take a village to make a village.
This needs to be a community project.
That's city hearings and everything else.
Yeah.
For all of those who've never been to war, it ain't fun. And the people that come back from there need some extra special help.
Okay, reports of committees, McDaniels.
Well, this isn't really a report of committee, but I guess it's all other business. I received a letter from a business owner here in town. I don't know if all of the other council members received it.
Yes.
But for clarification, the business owner was approached by our compliance officer, Eric Guston, and was told because she was going to have a wine tasting event, she would need to purchase a wine tasting permit from the city of Fulton. I've researched the ordinance and I see that there's no permit listed in our ordinance as wine tasting. So for clarification, when, like the Yost Brothers, we have approved them for wine tasting. Is that a fee that they're charged, or is that just a
I thought the
consensus?
state, is that, can you answer that, Joe? I had to write a letter,
There's a state issue.
that was
We
the
did it
state.
when we were considering the state
We called the
issues.
state.
Well,
We didn't
she was told that if she didn't get her wine tasting certificate from the city, that they were gonna shut down her wine tasting event.
And then she brought a business and we did not do anything.
No, I know. I'm just wanting to get
I mean,
clarification.
yes, he probably told her that because she didn't do like Yost Brothers did.
She already had her.
So, right, she already had one, they brought it to City Hall, it was
So-
dropped.
So it's included in her license. So my
It
question
wasn't
is,
included in Yost Brothers. There's somebody in the state that's telling two different things. So, I guess it depends who you contact at the state.
The state
Yost
required
Brothers
us to
had to
issue a
have
letter.
one.
The state required us to issue a letter.
Right. The guy you
Well, it's their
talked to.
approval, and they said, no, they want to see that the city approved it by letter. That's the case you're talking about, is the prior case, and that's our policy. When we question, we require a letter from the ones that are state.
oh, so if their state license includes it, they just give the city a copy of their license, which lets the city know that it's included in their license. Is that what you're saying?
No.
The state said Yost had to have a letter from the city. We voted on that.
I know.
The answer is yes, when you do a letter.
So you got a license to sell liquor, you don't have a license to
Have
drink.
to give it to everybody.
So you have to come for permission.
That's called
You have to-
post liquor.
There you go.
I'm not gonna ask permission to drink it.
Well,
It was just, it's a state law.
It's a state
It's
law.
what they told us.
So we were following state law when we sent the code or when the code officer went.
We're not picking on you.
So for,
We treat everybody alike, or try to.
Yeah. That's a confusing area.
so for clarification for everybody, when they buy a liquor license, they're buying to sell, not to drink. So if you need to drink, you need to come get a permit.
Exactly.
For a wine
For,
tasting.
for tasting. Gotcha.
Anything else?
Well,
Jenny Solers,
Can
can I recognize Jenny Solers on the subject?
She's recognized.
So just for clarification, because there's two things going on. There's two licenses. There's a license to sell. Then if you sell packaged liquor, you cannot have anybody open that in your business. So then you have to buy a separate license from the state and the county to taste, and that's called a tasting license.
And the city.
The city does not have a tasting license.
But you have to write a letter.
So if you have to write a letter, that should be in protocol for people to know that. That's what my point was, is if somebody wants to have a tasting, if they need to come here to then say, I need letter of permission, because they already have a year-long tasting license from the county and from the state to have it at any time, as long as you are not charging. If you're charging, it's a totally different license. So just so that you have clarification for people to know what they're doing, they need to come here for